Venom!
We are.
Venom!
No.
Oh!
Yeah, we
are.
Venom. We're gonna need to work on that.
Tom Hardy is back as Eddie Brock and his alien counterpart Venom in Venom: The Last Dance, one of few new movies I'll be reviewing this week in Chicago and on CJ at the Movies, along with some new films starring Ralph Fiennes and Anna Kendrick, and 2 takes on different fairy tales. I'm Christopher Zweig. Let's take a look. This is said to be the last of the Venom trilogy, but then again they said the same thing about Jurassic World Dominion. Tom Hardy is back as Eddie Brock and the voice of his alien counterpart Venom. This time they're both on the run from a government agency led by Chiwetel Ejiofor and a bunch of aliens from Venom's homeworld which threaten to raise hell on Earth.
Eddie, my home, has found us. Jesus Christ!
As always with the franchise, CGI effects overshadow the story, even if there are fun moments regarding Venom taking control of animals while Eddie has to deal with the misadventures. People who follow my work through the years will know that I am not a big fan of the Venom movies, especially not the original, and this trilogy conclusion still doesn't change my thoughts. What are we missing here? It acts like the end of a franchise but takes various ideas and does very little with them, as if the film wanted to be over to begin with, and Hardy, who started the year off brilliantly with the Bike Riders, still acts like he's too tired to be here, while his voice of Venom seems to be the one having fun, and that's more than Venom: The Last Dance can say. We improve things quite considerably with Conclave, which takes place at the Vatican, where the Pope passes away, and a conclave must be formed in order to elect a successor. Ralph Fiennes gives one of his best and most complete performances as the dean of a cardinal group who wanted to step down because he loses his faith, but finds himself in a dangerous position when the sins of some of the candidates threaten the balance of the Vatican.
They are sequestered, and they must be shielded from all news that may influence their judgment. You understand?
No sane man would want the papacy.
The men who are dangerous are the ones who do want it.
That sounds ominous.
The movie's terrific cast also includes John Lithgow as one of the candidate cardinals and Stanley Tucci as a liberal cardinal who wants the dean to thwart the plans of the conservative cardinal in his intentions to return to Vatican traditions.
This is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war.
It is a war. And you have to commit to a side.
Conclave is the American debut for director Edgar Berger, who also made the glorious and haunting All Quiet on the Western Front. His latest entry, which is also based on Robert Harris's book with a screenplay by Peter Strahan, has dialogue and dangers that make it a brilliant political film as well as a religious film. It's practically an example on how these two can be unholy partners. In fact, they both feature corruption and importance in general. Even if the screenplay gets a little complicated, we can still read between the lines about the sins within the Vatican and what comes out of them. To watch Conclave is to hear its characters, acknowledge their issues, and see whether or not they're able to deal with them. Next up, Woman of the Hour, the directorial debut of Anna Kendrick and also the latest Netflix crime drama inspired by the life of the serial killer Rodney Alvaro, who appeared on the 70s show The Dating Game. The time is 1978. Kendrick casts herself as Cheryl Bradshaw, who, without an audition, becomes the latest contestant on the show, and Alvaro, who poses as a photographer reeling women into his clutches, is Bachelor number 3. He's played here by Daniel Zovatto.
What's the question?
Which one of you will hurt me?
And Bachelor number 3, I'm counting on you. What are girls for?
Even though Cheryl, who is based on the real Cheryl Bradshaw, is credited as the main heroine, we also get aspects from Alvaro's other victims. We see how they fall into his charismatic charms until they learn about his true colors too late. In front of and behind the camera, Kendrick makes her directorial debut with a Coen Brothers ambiance that reminds us on how many actors and actresses have made their directing debuts with originality and genre exploring. Woman of the Hour is another entertaining film this year regarding TV shows taking a dark turn after Late Night with the Devil. As a Netflix thriller, this has more questions and challenges than some of the streaming services, romances, and comedies of late, and with the right subject matters, this will keep you glued to your screen via TV or laptop. Next up, Anora, the latest movie from Sean Baker, who presents a Cinderella-type story in his own independent, wickedly funny, and dangerously ambitious light. The movie stars Madison as a young stripper in Brooklyn whose latest client, played by Mark Eidelstein, is the wealthy and immature son of a Russian oligarch.
15. Cash up front.
Deal.
Deal.
He pays her to be his sex buddy and girlfriend, even marrying her in Las Vegas just to flip off his parents. But when word gets out on his social media, they send his godfather and his 2 goons to separate these two. But given the girl's stubbornness and the boy's immaturity, it's not going to be that easy.
Should I call 911?
Ты женился на какой-то проститутке?
What?
It's a frog marriage, and we're getting in an old
fraud marriage?
ASAP.
Anora is further proof of Sean Baker's professionalism. It's a movie that plays almost like a Tarantino entry because of the characters, their situations, their backgrounds, and how the R rating takes their dialogue and profanity to new heights. I saw this movie last week, and I'm still amazed at how Baker is able to pull it off even on a small scale. Even when we're cringing at the youngsters' decisions, we're still laughing and enjoying the results. And Madison, who has played serial killers in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Scream, is quite the revelation as a stripper thinking she may be in love, but struggles to acknowledge what she has gotten herself into. This is one of the year's best films. And our last movie is Your Monster, which plays like a different version of Beauty and the Beast and stars Melissa Barrera as Laura, a cancer survivor and stage actress whose boyfriend, played by Edmund Donovan, dumps her and leaves her in a state of depression. And then she finds, what else? A monster in her closet. He's played by Tommy Dewey, looking like if the dude from The Big Lebowski got his face done by Rick Baker, and he demands her to leave.
You got 2 weeks. After that, you're out of here. You pack your bags and get out.
But he manages to help her regain her love for music. She's willing to audition in the play her ex is directing and even be in an understudy for another actress played by Megan Fahey, who is set to play the character the director originally wrote for Laura.
You two know each other?
No. Yes.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
We're together for 5 years and I just messed it all up.
The prick broke up with you when you were in the hospital. I can't do it. I need time for me.
I could threaten to eat him if that would help. I mean, I could eat him. It would literally take me like 2 seconds.
The story for Your Monster can be overbearing with the girl's negativity and the monster's attitude, which left me a bit cynical, but I realized that given in the recent trend of updated fairy tales, like Anora for example, it likes to explore its options. It regards how the monster helps the girl regain her voice, how she deals with her ex, and how this particular love story doesn't need to be obvious or the same. And Barrera and Dewey are both excellent in the way they shift their tones and how they deliver their emotions, deadpan humor, and attitudes within their characters. And in a strange way, this movie works. Recapping the new movies I reviewed this week: thumbs down for Venom: The Last Dance, thumbs way up for Conclave, thumbs way up for Woman of the Hour, thumbs way up again for Anora, and thumbs up for Your Monster. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week in Chicago. I'm Christopher Zweig. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies. For more amazing content, please like and subscribe to my channels, and please read my reviews at cjatthemovies.com and download the new HD Radio app.